Hola, amigos, and welcome to the last show on Televida. We've got somebody very special tonight. I call him Local Tyler Perry. It's Carlos Nelson of Cascade Media Group. He does all sorts of productions in Kansas City, from HBCU coverage to a plethora of things. We're going to show you some clips of just part of the portfolio of Cascade Media Group, and we'll be back with Carlos Nelson. Watch this. Thank you, Carlos.
Pleasure being here.
You know, I was
Elliot.
on your show maybe 2 years ago, and you were returning the favor. You're a man of your word.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a plum-pleasing pleasure being here.
I was on your show called What's Up Kansas City, which is a little bit like this, but tell everybody about What's Up Kansas City, when did it start, what type of programming you do.
All right, What's Up Kansas City was started in December of 2012. It was
It's been over 10 years?
Huh? Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we started Cascade Sports in '08, and it went so well. That's when we seen that our community needed more than sports. It needed to have some other things that needed to be revealed. And as we say on What's Up Kansas City, it was designed to give a voice to the voiceless. It was designed to shed light on the many accomplishments that taking place in our
overlooked by local media.
Right, for our community.
Yeah.
The first thing I have to make clear, our network was designed to serve people of color because the majority community, they have 100%, they own 100% of basically all the media. And so covering our politics and covering our fashion and covering our education and our health and wellness.
I know, the clip we showed was of the fashion show.
Right. All of that enhances the ability to have present knowledge that previously was unavailable to our community concerning our community.
So how did you veer in? I see that you have a shirt on that says Cascade Sports. How did we go from What's Up Kansas City to Cascade Sports?
No, we went to Cascade Sports to What's Up Kansas City.
That was first.
Right. And
So you were covering like basketball games and
all
high
right,
school? Okay.
this is what happened.
All right, let's hear it.
Metro Sports was the main entity in '08 when, and Crosby Kemper used to do these guest speakers at the Plaza Library.
I remember that.
I was homeless at that time, Elliot, and I used to go to the Plaza Library, so they had hors d'oeuvres and all that. And all of that.
I ain't hating.
Get me a little bite to eat there, bro.
This is all right. So you go there and then.
All right, they were doing a special on 5 kids that graduated out of the Kansas City School District or played sports with the Kansas City School District. They got Emmys for this. And out the 5 kids, 4 their siblings had gotten killed by the time they were seniors.
Oh my God.
They were showing you the difference between what takes place in the urban core versus suburban school districts.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a girl on from Central that went to Bishop Mays. Her brother got killed, but he was begging her to come home. Bishop Mays needed another piece to win the championship. She transferred.
Was this a special or a book that was going on?
No, this was a special that Metro Sports, the auditorium was packed. They had went into these urban core families' homes. There was 2 or 3 families in the home. It was just unbelievable.
So this started the idea in your head.
I was like, my people can't be portrayed like this. It was a good piece but it was so negative.
There's a fire in the belly for you to do something different.
Yeah, there you go. And
Because it was negative because it was from that perspective in as opposed to our perspective out.
there we go. The main thing, when you homeless, a lot of homeless people spend their time in the library.
Of course.
So I spent a lot of time doing research and what have you. And then this video thing was just coming out then. YouTube and all of that. And I was able to have a lot of time to devote to going to do games and what have you. And so starting to give Metro
A run for their money.
Yeah, right. And after so long, we became successful. And I was like, my community needs.
What high schools would you cover?
Every high school.
Paseo?
Every high
Southwest?
school.
My Southwest, go Indians?
Yeah, hold it. Every high school in Kansas City. Normally when people go to Cascade Sports that I don't know, I'll ask them, what high school did you go to? And then I'll say, put your high school in, and they'd just be so surprised.
What about schools in the dot?
We had Wyandotte.
Schlegel?
All of them.
Okay. Because if you go to what is the website anyway? So we'll put the
CascadeSports.tv.
It's amazing how much content you have on sports.
10,000 interviews and games.
10,000 interviews and games.
And we own them all.
And your relationship with the HBCUs. Before
right.
Dion, pre-Dion. But we're going to talk about that because the HBCUs is a whole other thing. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with Carlos Nelson of Cascade Media Group. We're going to talk about HBCUs when we get back on the last show on Televida.
I like that.
I'm from Houston, Texas. I just moved to the Dallas area. I mentor under the artist Frank Frazier and Miss Rhea Rose.
And we want you to know that this is real important to us. BEU does a terrific job of helping inner city top students find a way through finance and banking to change their lives and in turn change Kansas City.
Now, where did you get all this HBCU footage?
Well, all the footage that you see on any of our websites, we film and we
But you had to develop a relationship with the HBCUs.
Well, it's just like anything else. You call. I went to a HBCU. I used to run track for the United States track team back in the day.
Where'd you go? Which HBCU?
Central State University.
Okay.
Basically, sister school to Wilberforce University, one of the oldest black universities in the country. HBCUs. And when you've been a coach and what have you, and you know a few people, the other coaches will turn you on to.
Well, my point is, was anybody not, and I have some HBCU, my sister went to Howard, my dad went to Virginia Union, I wish I had gotten past UMKC, but hey. Because they weren't knocking on the door. You were knocking on HBCU's doors before anybody else was.
Right.
This is pre-Deion Sanders.
Right.
This is pre-Jackson State.
Well, again, when you go to HBCUs, most of the time you find out that they have their curriculum, they have more of a motherly atmosphere. Everybody on those campuses look like you, come from the same background as you, and it's much easier for you to relate. And at that time, HBCUs were looking for exposure too. And we had a large high school program that they could recruit from.
Interesting. I did not know this, so that was important. So now let's talk about the other types of, because I noticed you had like reality-based shows on your network.
Far From Perfect.
Tell me about that.
All right, Far From Perfect. Every year we would have about 8 to 10 interns from UMKC, Avila, Rockhurst, and William Jewell. And with my interns, normally I will have the equipment And I'm like, here's a blank piece of paper, go draw on it. And the girl from Rockhurst, she's with the Skywalker Studios now out at Disney.
Wow.
She came into the office with this project, and she had did all the filming and got all the interns together, and they started the first reality show in 2013, and it ran for 2 years. Where they were going to the different campuses. They were talking about relative things that were taking place in there.
Can you provide me a clip of that?
We can
The short clip?
certainly do that.
I saw that. I was intrigued by that. So you've got a world of content. So I know it's going to be hard but let's just talk about 5 things on the Cascade Media Group platform that you want to talk about that we should be aware of.
All right. One of my main things is education. And we produce 35 shows from A to Z. When you go on, and Elliot, you talk about Cascade Media Platform. We have a business network, the Kansas City Business Association.
I'm a member.
Hold it, and a faithful member, not just this man pays his dues.
That's right.
You other members need to get on board. And that really deals with a lot of the titans in business and the small people in business in our community.
Well, I'm definitely on the smaller side. I'm never a titan. And what? All right, that's the business.
Then that's the business. Then we have the sports network, which is dealing with
the media group.
We're talking with Coach's Corner, HBCUs, bridging the gap between sports and education, where businessmen come on and say, yeah, I was an athlete, got me a scholarship, and got a job because I was able to get an education through sports. Then the big channel is What's Up Worldwide, where we're in North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, and West Africa. And on Worldwide, we have another channel, What's Up Latin America, where
we're bringing it back in the circle here. You're calling it back. What are you, a comedian? You're calling it back. What's Up Latin America?
Yeah, and What's Up Latin America is in English and it's in Spanish. And they're very intriguing interviews concerning important issues that are facing the Latin American community.
Well, that's what Televida does too here. That's why I wanted you to bring you in here, because there's a lot of ways you probably can work together.
How did you phrase that where I said on perspective, because given the Latin American perspective and not, you phrased
from
it
the inside out.
Right.
And that's what Televida does. They do the Latin America perspective from the inside out. Right, Joseph? Yes. Yeah, right, Joseph.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of other things, and we're gonna have so many clips that we add into this, so we're just gonna add them in here because we want to get the whole portfolio.
The full Monty.
The full Monty, the whole portfolio. Thank you for bringing some comedy back in here because it got pretty serious. But thank you, Carlos Nelson, Cascade Media Group. We're going to have a lot more clips. We're going to have a lot more of him, hopefully, because he is very industrious and he's a great asset to the people of Kansas City. Thank you, Carlos.
It was a pleasure.
All right. Adios. This has been The Last Show.